to talk to you today about the foundation, your foundation as a human being, and if you're a parent or a spouse, your foundation that makes you stand strong and firm on the ground and where you are grounded is where people are leaning on, and that's actually what makes a person attractive is when they're grounded. And I'm talking about when other people are coming to you and relying on you, being the one who is steady, knowing that they can come to you if you are a father or a mother or a caregiver or a boss or someone who's leading a huge group in a company. People are leaning on you and relying on you. And the better you are with your foundation and being grounded, the more likely you are to be able to do the things that you need to do, particularly if you're balanced. But let me tell you something. We're going to talk today about the disconnected family. It's not too far from living a balanced life, the disconnected family. And before I get into that, I want to introduce myself. My name is Florian Santos. I am a certified strategic interventionist slash life coach and confidant. I coach not only individuals, I also coach families, I coach children and teenagers. Hey, you want someone to coach your teenager? Here I am. Anyhow, I wanted to talk to you about something very concerning, something that could be affecting you that you're not aware of. I am going about to do a talk, and I decided to find out and do some research to find out what numbers or the amount or the statistic is saying about people who are depressed. And what I found is extremely concerning. And I'm going to read this to you because I don't know how else to be able to cover it all. So I'm just going to quote and read it to you. According to the Mental Health, Child and Adolescent Health, published in October 2017, depression is on the rise in the U.S., especially among teens. According to the researchers of Columbia University Mailman School of Public Health and the CUNY Graduate School of Public Health, from 2005 to 2015, depression rose significantly among Americans aged 12 and older, with the most rapid increase seen in young people. Depression. Depression is becoming very, very common. Parents get depressed, wife gets depressed, husband gets depressed, children gets depressed. And I wanted to talk to you about family, a group. Whether you're an adult with older siblings and you're all adults and your mother is in her 60s or probably in her 80s, we still are family, even though the children are grown. And I wanted to ask you about if you are a parent or you're a child of a parent. Think of a baby, the first time you had your baby, okay? And you're holding this totally helpless baby in your hand, and you can't help but just watch the wonder and the miracle as the baby breathes. Sometimes you even want to wake up the baby just to, or play with the baby's lips, or hold the baby's hands. that is a connection that is very, very special that the baby really needs. A study was done in the 1940s. It's a notice that someone took notice to the babies in the orphanage that were sitting in their little crib all day long, without a touch, without um, any stimulation, without anyone getting uh, just changing the diapers, and that's about it. And back then, they fed the baby with just propping up the bottle, didn't touch them at all. Now, they found that the babies that weren't touched, that were not being stimulated by the human touch, started to look like fetuses again, with large stomachs and big heads, and they laid down just like the fetus in the mother's stomach, sucking their thumb, because this baby is just lying there. And then they decided to start picking up the baby, holding it, carrying it around, touching the baby. And only then do you see the baby grow, a normal baby, instead of a baby that's withering away without the human touch. There was actually a video that I saw about a husband and a wife who had their baby. The baby was a stillborn, and the mother was very sad. The family was very sad. There was a video of them actually that I watched. So what the parents did, the nurse and the doctors decided to let them be with their family as they say goodbye to the baby, a newborn baby. The mother was holding the baby and decided to put the baby on her skin, and the father, along with the mother, just were holding on to say goodbye to the baby. Within a few minutes, the baby started to move. The baby was alive, skin to skin, just by the touch and the vibration. The human touch, even with pets, you know how we have those ladies with cats all over their house that love and adore their cats, or a dog person, could be a bird person, could be a snake person. But the touch, the vibration of that touch gives you some kind of fulfillment. Your dog sitting by you, just cuddling, a cat just cuddling, the touch, the connection, that all means something. And I believe, you know, they're blaming the social media for this rise in depression and suicide. Did I read the suicide? I did not. This is what really hits me hard. According to the Wikipedia, according to the Wikipedia, I'm going to read this to you. Suicide is a major national public health issue in the United States. In 2016, there were 44,965 recorded suicides, up to 42,773 in 2014. And according to the National Center for Health Statistics, on average, adjusted for age, the annual suicide rate increased 24% between 1999 and 2014. From 10.5 to 13. Suicides per 100,000 people. The highest rate recorded in 28 years. In April 2016, they released another data showing that the suicide rate in the United States had hit a 30-year high. and later in June 2018 released further data showing that the rate continued to increase and has increased in every U.S. state except Nevada since 1999, surging death rates from suicide, drug overdoses, and alcoholism. The opposite of depression is being close to a community, family. I drive in San Francisco, and I'm going to tell you, the Tenderloin, if you drive there and as it's getting dark, you'll start seeing the homeless socializing. They have their community. They're talking to each other. They're all on the street. They're homeless, but they're not alone. They're homeless together, because we tend to find a family. If our family is not reaching out and connecting to our children, to our sister, to our mother, our brothers, if we're not connecting, we're losing touch. That disconnection is what leads to depression. That's not the only thing that leads to depression. Of course, there are mental illness, which I totally acknowledge. And with mental illness also comes depression and suicide. And it's really important that you know this, because if you can possibly help it, we bring up these babies, these children, and as soon as they can eat, yay, they can feed themselves. As soon as they're out of diapers, yay, they can go to the toilet by themselves. And as soon as they can start getting dressed by themselves, yay, one more thing I don't have to do. And then the child is making their own food, and then they're driving. Somehow we get disconnected from our children from that time that they begin independence. In other countries, the children are usually with their parents. In fact, they live with their parents until they're married. And even when they're married, they bring their spouse in to live with their family. And that's in a lot of countries. In the United States, we teach our children to sleep in their own bed, in their own room. In fact, I remember reading the book called The Family Bed, where the family usually sleeps together, and the child who was told to sleep in their own room to establish independence was found in the morning sleeping on the floor on their outside their parents' door, because they just didn't want to be alone. They need that connection. We need that connection. So I'm going to say something to you. If this is happening to your child, please notice it. Do something about it. If you have a pet, the pet is going to come and look at you. The cat is going to be by your side. And what you need to do is say, I say this to my dog. When I come home, she's just staring at me. And I'd say to her, even though I'm not petting her, I see you. I see you looking at me. I see you looking at me, Madison. And you're such a good girl. And I love you. The voice, the vibration from the voice means a lot to my dog, even if I'm not petting her. Your voice, reaching out, making a phone call instead of a text or an email. Remember the song, Reach Out and Touch Someone? Reach out, call up and just say hi. That was advertising the phone, which we don't use anymore. It's all about text, and we're in a different world, and I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I'm saying stay connected. Stay connected. When your child, teenager or whatever, walks into a room, you can say, hi, I really like what you're wearing today. I like the way it matched. You did a good job washing the dishes. I really thank you. That really helped me out. Acknowledging their importance, their significance, that they did something that you notice. That's important. Also, when you're talking to a human being, look at their eyes. Face your heart to their heart. That means a lot. It's a silent communication. When you're talking to your child, or your child is talking to you, or you're talking to someone, and you're facing a different direction, or you're looking at your phone, that's not connection. You're not connecting. Back in the days, our parents used to say, "Look at me when I'm talking to you." Well, we learned that it's a different world. Like I say, you can be talking to your teenager and they're going, they have their earphone on and they have their cell phone on. Connect, okay? Just connect with them. That's the most important thing. And if you're having trouble with your teenagers communicating, or your spouse, call me. I have very easy, simple solutions to that. That doesn't require having to make big changes, but makes a huge, huge difference in your child feeling like they belong. Your spouse, they dress stuff for you. "Hey, I like your dress that you have on. That looks nice on you. You got a haircut. I love it." How hard is that? Also, do you remember the olden days when they, old school, the family who eats together stays together? Sometimes that's not possible in our world today. It's so easy to pop something in the microwave. Where I'm raised and the way I raised my children, it's not right or wrong. I'm just saying we usually ate together. We set the table and we ate together. But I can tell you, that's not always a good thing. Sometimes fights happen at the table, which people try to avoid. We can correct that. We can correct all of that. Just paying attention, noticing, show some significance to the other person. And did you know that if you have a little toddler or 3-year-old or 4-year-old and they're jumping and they're running around, you're trying to say, "Hey, calm down, it's time for bed," whatever, and they're jumping and they're not listening to you, get closer to your child. Get down on your knees and look into their eyes and talk to them. And here's the secret. Here's the big secret. Take your hand and put it on their back and talk to them. Watch them calm down. Just that touch. Put your hand on your child's back. Touch your baby. Touch their hand. Touch their head. Touch. Touch. The human touch. You can't go wrong. Love, connection, touch, you can't go wrong. And you may be preventing another suicide. I'm Florian Santos. I'm a strategic interventionist / life coach, certified strategic interventionist, and confidant. I coach couples. I coach married couples. I coach partnership, children, teenagers, adults. So whatever your issue is, whatever your fear is, let's talk about it. Take care. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.